Winston is being sued by his accuser, the accuser in the sexual assault case. Erica Kinsman is her name.
Hold on, stop.
What?
Stop.
What?
What the hell kind of transition was that? Come on, now here's the big piece of meat.
In the NFL, the big story, the big news in the NFL today. It just happened maybe an hour before we started recording. That we got the news that Erica Kinsman is going to be suing Jameis Winston, and most of us could see this coming. From the time everything kind of settled down a little bit, and like she's going to wait until there's a payday involved and find her way to a courtroom. She's already. I brought her up yesterday, and I forgot, how did I bring her up yesterday? Oh, because there's this wonderful article, Rob, in what was that, the 14th? So 2 days ago, ESPN the magazine article on Jameis Winston, man. It gives you a wonderful insight on this kid, man, as far as like where he's from, his family, just how how zany and wacky he is. It's a wonderfully written article. Can't remember the guy's name who wrote the article, but basically he's just following Jameis around. He's following him around and recording, his regular life. Wonderful article, man. It's a long read, but it's a good read. And so that's why I started talking about it, because that came up within the interview, the sexual assault thing, and how he's still vehemently denying that he did anything wrong. I should say not that he didn't do anything, but he did anything illegal or wrong. And they mentioned her testimony from the not the trial, but the thing they had on campus, the student conduct thing that they had on campus. And she's the same way on the other end. She's like, to the day I die, I'll say he raped me. So it's going to go to court again. It's going to go to a civil court this time. We all know, if you were around during the O.J. Simpson situation, that he won in court, in criminal court. But the burden of proof is much different in a civil litigation. And it's easier to win. You don't have, what is it? You don't have to prove reasonable doubt. Yeah. In a civil litigation to be able to win. You just have to, like in those wrongful deaths, because that's what OJ got not convicted of, but that's what he lost on, a wrongful death suit in civil court, which means there's a reasonable possibility that he had something to do with Nicole and Ron's death. So the same thing in this situation. If they find that there's a reasonable there's reason that you could believe that Jameis Winston forced himself upon this girl, she'll inevitably win. She'll win the case.
Well, she looked like she only sued for $15,000.
Is that what it is? No, really? Who's her lawyer?
Yeah.
Erica. Erica. What are you doing?
Hold on.
This dude is about to get a guaranteed contract worth somewhere between $25 and $30 million for the next 4 years.
Hold on.
So
let me see. Where is it? Here it is. Here it is in the suit. Kinsman's attorney, David King of Orlando. They are demanding damages in excess of $15,000.
Wait a minute. What's her? This article that I'm reading says her attorney's name is John Clune.
Well, no, it's from Kinsman's attorney, David King of Orlando, and Blaine Kerr and John Clune.
Okay,
it's a whole group.
Oh, she got like a dream team. You go, girl.
Yeah. Orlando, Blaine Kerr, and John Clune is the name of the firm.
You go, girl. Oh, I'm not trying. Yeah. Oh, Jameis, my man, my MF.
Oh no, excuse me, I'm tripping. She has a team. David King is from Orlando, and the other two are from Colorado. So I guess the ones from Colorado, I wonder if they had something to do with that Kobe thing.
See,
or is she from Colorado?
There you go, drawing lines that don't
exist.
exist.
I'm just saying, why would she get an attorney from Colorado?
I don't know. Maybe she's from Colorado. The hell if I know. She just transferred. She don't go to Florida State anymore. She transferred somewhere. I don't know if it was revealed where, but she's out of there. She's not at Florida State anymore. John Clune told Matt Baker of the Tampa Bay Times, quote, "Today, a very brave young woman filed her lawsuit against Jameis Winston for the sexual battery that she reported to police in December of 2012. Over the past 2 years, The survivor of this survivor of sexual violence has had to endure a delinquent police investigation, a hostile FSU athletic department, and Mr. Winston's bullying lawyer, Mr. Cornwell, I guess is who she's referring to. Mr. Can't shut his damn mouth. Bullying lawyer. But the more these forces sought to silence her, the more determined she became to step forward and hold Jameis Winston accountable for his actions. With the support of her family, she was prepared for this fight and for the counterclaims and smear campaigns that will surely follow, because they will. She's right about that. Yeah. What does it say? The case was formally investigated by the Tallahassee in English Police Department, which did not find enough evidence to file criminal charges. A Title IX investigation into the incident conducted by Florida State last year also did not find that Winston broke any university rules. Quote, in sum, the preponderance of the evidence has not shown that you are responsible for any of the charged violations of the code. End quote. Former Florida State Supreme Court Justice Major Harding, presiding over the case, wrote per USA Today's Rachel Axon, quote, namely, I find the evidence before me is insufficient to satisfy the burden of proof. That's what I was talking about earlier. In court, you have a burden, a different burden of proof than would be in a civil court. All right. Kinsman, she's going to actually be in this documentary called The Hunting Ground. It documents sexual assault cases. This is just to bring awareness to sexual assault cases on college campuses. In the documentary, she says, quote, I kind of just want to know why me. It doesn't really make sense, end quote. And this is what she said per Marlo Stern of the Daily Beast. The university has since filed a motion seeking to dismiss the case. I talked about this yesterday, that she's actually suing Florida State for their investigation practices and for violating her civil rights. So they filed a motion, which is par for the course, to dismiss the case, which has not even been heard yet. So this is the latest in the land of Jameis Winston, man. And my position on this is exactly, I think it's always going to be the correct one. If he did something to this young lady of this nature, everything that should happen to him, I hope it does. But if he did not, I hope that's found out as well, and that he's able to go on, because that's a difficult stain to wash out, pimp. Like when someone accuses you of rape, that's a difficult stain to wash out, man. We talked about it with the basketball player. I can't even remember the kid's name. The kid that went to Xavier and ended up in the Sweet 16. And who was it? Bob Huggins.
Oh yeah.
His daughters were in the crowd screaming out, like tweeting and screaming out, just no means no and all that kind of stuff without reading the details of the case. Yeah, that's a tough, especially in this climate, in the post Ray Rice, the post Greg Hardy climate, the post the University of Virginia stuff, which was a total debacle. They didn't went to kick these dudes out of school, and all this kind of stuff, only to realize this girl made everything up. Like the person she described didn't even exist. That's how far she went.
Now look, there's this dude named Drew Boilhart, and he is with he's the senior analyst for HuddleReport.com, and he's also with Draftnik.com. I guess that's what it is. So this man said yesterday that the Buccaneers need to be convinced that Jameis isn't a Hernandez before they draft.
Yeah, I talked about that. Was that yesterday? I talked about that, or were we doing it together? I guess you talked about it yesterday. Yeah, that whole link that people were trying to do with the Aaron Hernandez thing and the Ray Rice stuff and the Darren Sharper thing, got to stop. Here's the thing about here's the unfortunate thing about the Aaron Hernandez thing. It's kind of a one-off. Like the last time the NFL went through something like this, it was Ray Caruth. and that was many. That was like 98, 99 or something like that. I remember it because that's when my buddy Corey got into the league, somewhere around 99. I was just leaving college. That happened around then. So we're talking about a span of somewhere, over a decade and a half between those incidents. So to act like this is just a thing,
Ray Cruz, is he out?
I know he's supposed to be getting out. He may be, because if you're like a crier, don't do this. Don't do this. Find the Sports Illustrated that talks about the Ray Caruth situation, and his son is like a teenager now, and the boy,
but
he looks just like Ray Caruth. He looks exactly like.
They did a thing on Outside the Line. I think it was Outside the Line when they followed up with him, and they had the grandma, him and the grandma. They were out at the grave.
Yeah.
And his mama's grave and all that. Yeah, I saw that not too long ago.
God, if you read this article, man, again, it's another long one, but it needs to be, because you need to know all the details. Like my old lady don't know who the hell Ray Caruth is. I'll let her read it. Yeah, buckets of tears. It's one of the saddest freaking things ever. This kid,
2018 is when it gets out.
Oh man, this kid, his daddy tried to kill him before he even came to this earth. And now he's special needs. His grandma was like 24-hour care of this kid, man. She got to get her van outfitted for him, just for he can't speak. He's a teenager that can't speak, man. Yeah, man. Like there is no room for Ray Caruth to get out of jail, man. Not to me. Hell no. Nah, man. Hell no. He need to be right up in there for life with the Booty Warriors, just like Aaron Hernandez. Get a Booty Warrior, some light skin loving, both of y'all. It's ridiculous. So yeah, the Jameis.
So you think Ray ever got it pushed in?
He been in there a while. Yeah, Ray been in there a while too, dude. On a murder beef, dude. Like on some like second degree murder beef or conspiracy murder or whatever it is. Yeah, he been in there for a while, dude. So I mean, if I had to play the odds, I'd say yeah, pushed in.
Dude, hold on, is that right? 24 years. Wait, okay. I think his sentence was 24 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's been in there 21 years.
He'll be eligible for.
Is that right? Yeah.
Nah, because this was late 90s. This was late 90s.
He'll be eligible. See, his projected release date is October 22nd, 2018.
Yeah, so it's probably like good time, or like how like where Mike Vick had to serve at least 85% of his time for the Fed stuff.
Yeah. See, that happened in '99 when that girl got shot.
Yeah, exactly. I remember, man. Yeah, dude. And I don't remember dates
18
either.
Years. So he been in jail for 15 years then. 15 years.
He need to stay, cuz, for that. Not only for what he did to that girl, because that was heinous enough. You know what I mean? Setting her up in that whole situation. But that boy, man, that boy who would never get a chance to enjoy normal life. Ever.
Yeah.
That's the travesty, man. And the crazy thing about it, man, the only thing I kept thinking when reading that article was like every day, that old lady got to wake up and look at Ray Caruth's face, because that boy looks exactly like Ray Caruth.
Yeah.
The spit. When you talk about the spitting image, there is no Maury show on this one. There is none. There is no look at the nose. None of that. It's his boy, and she got to wake up every morning and take care of him, looking at Ray Caruth's face, man. That's tough. Just thinking back to that, man, it's one of the toughest things I've ever read. Period. Not just in the sports gig, just read. Period. I think that's it. That's all I got for the NFL, man. I do.
Really quick. Yeah. This Russell Wilson thing. I don't know if you talked about it yesterday. But the whole contract negotiations and the GM, John Snyder, talking about they're going to be cautious with the amount of money that they offer him, because they have to make sure that, money is in place, to be able to, keep the core group of players together.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You know what I mean? You gotta do what everybody else did. It's just.
I mean, that dude is gonna make like $1.5 million this year.
Yeah, it's what it is. You gonna have to pony up, man. I saw another one that I just saw the headline.